Hello, English learner. Welcome back to English Speaking and Listening Club. I am so happy you are here with me today. Right now, in this very moment, you have made a choice to be here to listen, to learn, and to grow. And I want to honor that choice because it matters. Every time you choose to invest in yourself, every time you choose to work on your English, every time you choose to listen and practice, you are building something important. You are building your future. You are creating the life you want to live. And I am here to support you on this journey. Today, we need to talk about something very important. We need to discuss something that will change everything about how you learn English. We need to explore a truth that successful people understand deeply, but that many learners never discover. This truth is simple but powerful. This truth is challenging but liberating. This truth can transform not just your English but your entire life. And this truth is contained in one sentence. One simple sentence. Discipline will take you where motivation won't. Let me say that again because I want you to feel these words deeply. I want you to understand these words completely. I want these words to enter your heart and change your thinking. Discipline will take you where motivation won't. Think about what this means. Think about what this is telling you. Think about how this applies to your English learning journey. Motivation is wonderful. Motivation feels amazing. Motivation gives you energy. Motivation makes you excited. Motivation makes you want to practice. Motivation makes you feel like you can achieve anything. But motivation has a problem, a serious problem. Motivation does not last. Right now, maybe you feel motivated. Maybe you are excited about learning English. Maybe you are ready to practice. Maybe you feel energized and inspired. This is beautiful. This is good. I'm happy you feel this way, but let me ask you a question. How will you feel tomorrow? How will you feel next week? How will you feel when you are tired? How will you feel when you have a difficult day? How will you feel when something disappointing happens? How will you feel when practice becomes boring? How will you feel when progress seems slow? The truth is, you probably will not feel motivated. You probably will feel tired, busy, frustrated, or unmotivated. And this is when most people stop practicing. This is when most people quit. This is when most people give up on their dreams. Motivation is like the weather. It changes. Sometimes it is sunny and beautiful. Sometimes it is cloudy and gray. Sometimes it is stormy and dark. You cannot control the weather. You cannot decide to make every day sunny. In the same way, you cannot control motivation. You cannot decide to feel motivated every day. Motivation comes and goes. Motivation rises and falls. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions are temporary. They change constantly. They are unreliable. You cannot build your success on something unreliable. You cannot achieve your goals based on how you feel. You need something stronger. You need something more consistent. You need something that works even when you do not feel like it. You need discipline. Discipline is completely different from motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is logical. Motivation asks, how do I feel? Discipline asks, what did I commit to? Motivation says, I will do this when I feel like it. Discipline says, I will do this whether I feel like it or not. Motivation is excited and energetic. Discipline is calm and steady. Motivation is like fire that burns bright but can die out. Discipline is like a strong foundation that supports you forever. Let me explain this with a story. Imagine two students. Both want to speak English fluently. Both have the same goal. Both watch the same lessons. Both understand the importance of practice. The first student is very motivated. He feels excited about English. He watches motivational videos. He dreams about being fluent. When he feels motivated, he practices a lot. He might practice for 2 hours in one day. He speaks out loud. He repeats sentences. He feels amazing. He feels like he is making great progress. But then the next day, he does not feel motivated anymore. He feels tired. He tells himself he practiced a lot yesterday, so today he can rest. Days pass. He does not practice. Then one day he feels motivated again. He practices intensely again. Then he stops again. This cycle repeats over and over. Practice, stop, practice, stop. This student is controlled by motivation. Now imagine the second student. She also wants to speak English fluently, but she does not wait for motivation. She makes a commitment. She decides to practice speaking English for 10 minutes every single day. Not when she feels like it. Not when she is motivated. But every single day, no matter what. Some days she feels excited and practices with energy. Some days she feels tired and practices anyway. Some days she feels unmotivated, but she still opens her mouth and speaks for 10 minutes. She does not practice for 2 hours one day and then stop for a week. She practices for 10 minutes every single day. Every single day. No excuses, no negotiations, no exceptions. This student has discipline. Now fast forward 6 months. Which student do you think speaks better English? Which student do you think has made more progress? Which student do you think is more confident? The answer is obvious. The second student, the disciplined student. Why? Because consistency beats intensity. Because daily practice beats occasional practice. Because discipline beats motivation. The first student might have practiced more total hours in the beginning, but those hours were spread inconsistently. There were long gaps between practice sessions. During those gaps, the brain forgets. The mouth loses training. Progress disappears. The second student practiced less in each session, but she practiced every single day. Every single day, her brain reinforced the learning. Every single day, her mouth trained the muscles. Every single day, she built the habit. And over time, small, consistent actions create massive results. This is the power of discipline. This is why discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Motivation might take you on an exciting journey for a few days or weeks, but discipline will take you all the way to your goal. Motivation might help you start, but discipline helps you finish. Motivation might make you feel good temporarily, but discipline makes you achieve permanently. Think about your own experience learning English. How many times have you felt motivated? How many times have you watched a video and felt inspired? How many times have you told yourself, this time I will really practice? How many times have you started strong? Probably many times. Now let me ask you another question. How long did that motivation last? A few days? A week? Maybe 2 weeks? What happened after the motivation faded? You stopped practicing. You went back to your old habits. You waited for the next wave of motivation. And this cycle has repeated many times in your life. Am I right? I'm not saying this to criticize you. I am saying this because I understand. I understand this pattern. I have seen it thousands of times. I have talked to thousands of English learners, and most of them tell me the same story. They say, I feel motivated sometimes, but I cannot maintain it. I start practicing, but then I stop. I want to be consistent, but I fail. I know I should practice daily, but I do not do it. And they feel bad about this. They feel guilty. They feel like something is wrong with them. They think they lack willpower. They think they are lazy. They think they are failures. But the problem is not you. The problem is that you are relying on motivation. You are waiting for motivation. You are dependent on motivation. And as long as you depend on motivation, you will never achieve your goal, because motivation is unreliable. Motivation is temporary. Motivation abandons you when you need it most. Discipline is what you need. Discipline is what successful people have. Discipline is what will transform your English from a dream into reality. So what exactly is discipline? Let me define it clearly. Discipline is doing what you committed to do, even when you do not feel like doing it. Read that again. Discipline is doing what you committed to do, even when you do not feel like doing it. This is the essence of discipline. This is the core. This is the secret, even when you do not feel like it. This is the key phrase. This is what separates disciplined people from everyone else. Everyone can practice when they feel motivated. Everyone can work when they feel excited. Everyone can take action when they feel energetic. That is easy. That requires no discipline. But can you practice when you feel tired? Can you work when you feel bored? Can you take action when you feel unmotivated? This requires discipline. And this is what creates success. Discipline is not about being perfect. Discipline is not about being a robot. Discipline is not about never feeling tired or unmotivated. Discipline is about acting despite how you feel. Discipline recognizes that feelings are temporary and goals are important. Discipline understands that what you want long-term is more valuable than how you feel right now. Discipline chooses future success over present comfort. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you committed to practicing speaking English for 10 minutes every morning at 7 o'clock. Today you wake up and you feel tired. You did not sleep well. Your body feels heavy. Your mind feels foggy. You do not want to practice. You want to sleep more or just relax. This is the moment. This is when discipline is tested. What do? If you follow motivation, you will skip practice. You will tell yourself, I am too tired today. I will practice tomorrow when I feel better. This seems reasonable. This seems kind to yourself, but this is the beginning of failure. Because tomorrow you might feel tired again, or busy, or stressed, or unmotivated for a different reason. And you will skip again, and again. And soon the habit is broken. Soon you are back to inconsistent practice. Soon your progress stops. But if you have discipline, you do something different. You acknowledge that you feel tired. You do not ignore your feelings. You accept them. You think, yes, I feel tired right now. That is okay. But I made a commitment to practice every day. My commitment is more important than my temporary feeling. I will practice for 10 minutes as I planned. And then you get up. You practice. Maybe your practice is not as energetic as usual. Maybe you speak a bit slower. Maybe you feel less enthusiastic. But you do it. You complete your 10 minutes, you keep your commitment, and something amazing happens. After you finish, you feel proud. You feel strong. You feel like you accomplished something important because you did. You proved to yourself that you can be disciplined. You proved that you can keep commitments. You proved that feelings do not control you. This builds self-respect. This builds confidence. This builds character. And here is something even more amazing. Often, once you start practicing, even when you did not feel like it, you start to feel better. The action creates motivation. You thought you needed to feel motivated first and then practice. But actually, practice creates motivation. Movement creates energy. Action creates enthusiasm. Discipline starts the engine, and then motivation comes along for the ride. But if you wait for motivation to start the engine, you might wait forever. So discipline is the starting key. Discipline is the first step. Discipline gets you moving even when everything inside you wants to stay still. And once you are moving, continuing becomes easier. This is a secret that disciplined people know. They know that starting is the hardest part. They know that the first 2 minutes are the most difficult. They know that once they begin, momentum helps them continue. So they use discipline to push through those difficult first 2 minutes. And then the rest flows more naturally. Now I want to talk about how to build discipline, because discipline is not something you are born with. Discipline is not a personality trait that some people have and others do not. Discipline is a skill. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, you can train it. You can develop it. You can make it stronger. When you first start training a muscle, it is weak. It gets tired quickly. You can only lift light weights, but if you train consistently, the muscle grows. It becomes stronger. You can lift heavier weights. You can work longer. The same is true for discipline. At first, your discipline muscle is weak. You can only do small commitments. You might fail sometimes, but if you keep training, your discipline grows stronger. You can do bigger commitments. You can maintain them longer. You can push through harder challenges. So how do you train your discipline muscle? You start small, very small. This is extremely important. Many people try to build discipline by making huge commitments. They decide to practice English for 2 hours every day. They decide to wake up at 5 in the morning. They decide to completely change their life overnight. This is a mistake. This is like someone who has never exercised trying to lift the heaviest weight in the gym. What will happen? They will fail. They will hurt themselves. They will feel discouraged. They will quit. The same happens with discipline. If you try to make huge changes immediately, you will fail. Your discipline muscle is not strong enough yet. You will feel overwhelmed. You will quit. And then you will believe you cannot be disciplined. But the problem was not your ability. The problem was starting too big. Instead, start with something so small it feels almost too easy. For example, commit to practicing speaking English for just 5 minutes every day. 5 minutes. That is all. Not 30 minutes. Not 1 hour, just 5 minutes. This should feel easy. This should feel manageable. This should feel like something you can definitely do every single day no matter what. And here is the key. Do it every single day, even when you feel tired. Even when you are busy. Even when you are traveling. Even when you do not feel like it. 5 minutes. No excuses, no exceptions. This builds your discipline muscle. After you have successfully done 5 minutes every day for 30 days, your discipline muscle is stronger. Then you can increase slightly, maybe to 10 minutes every day. Do this for another 30 days, then increase to 15 minutes. You are building gradually. You are training consistently. You are strengthening your discipline muscle step by step. This approach works. This approach creates lasting change. This approach transforms your life. But starting small is hard for many people. Why? Because our ego wants big results immediately. Our ego wants to feel impressive. Our ego wants to tell people we are practicing 2 hours every day. 5 minutes sounds too small. 5 minutes sounds unimpressive. 5 minutes feels like it will not make a difference. But this thinking is wrong. This thinking is why most people fail. 5 minutes every single day is infinitely better than 2 hours once in a while. 5 minutes every single day builds a habit, builds consistency, builds discipline. 2 hours occasionally builds nothing. It creates a burst of activity followed by long gaps of nothing. That is not progress. That is not discipline. That is just motivation coming and going. So humble yourself. Let go of your ego. Accept that starting small is the wise path. Accept that consistency is more important than intensity. Accept that building discipline takes time. Be patient with yourself. Be strategic. Choose the path that works rather than the path that sounds impressive. Your goal is not to impress anyone. Your goal is to build real discipline and achieve real results. Now let me talk about another important aspect of discipline. Discipline requires clarity. You cannot be disciplined about something vague. You cannot commit to something unclear. If your commitment is I will practice English regularly, that is too vague. What does regularly mean? Twice a week, every day, every other day. And what does practice mean? Reading, listening, speaking. For how long? Because this is vague, it is easy to avoid. It is easy to tell yourself I will do it later. It is easy to forget. It is easy to make excuses. But if your commitment is specific, discipline becomes possible. For example, I will practice speaking English out loud for 10 minutes every day at 7 in the morning. This is specific. This is clear. You know exactly what you committed to do. You know when, you know for how long, you know what activity. There is no confusion. There is no room for interpretation. Either you did it or you did not. This clarity makes discipline easier. This clarity removes decision fatigue. This clarity creates accountability. So when you make a commitment to build discipline, make it specific. Decide exactly what you will do. Decide exactly when you will do it. Decide exactly for how long. Write it down. Say it out loud. Make it concrete. Make it real. Make it clear. Then your discipline has a target. Your discipline knows what to do. Your discipline can measure success. Another key to discipline is understanding your why. Why do you want to speak English fluently? Why does this matter to you? Why are you willing to work for this? Your why is your purpose. Your why is your reason. Your why is your fuel. When motivation fades, your why keeps you going. When you feel tired, your why gives you strength. When discipline is hard, your why reminds you it is worth it. But your why must be real. Your why must be personal. Your why must be emotional. If your why is weak or superficial, it will not sustain you. For example, if your why is I want to speak English because everyone says it is important, that is weak. That is someone else's reason, not yours. That will not sustain discipline. But if your why is I want to speak English because I want to get a better job to support my family, or I want to speak English because I want to study abroad and create a better future, or I want to speak English because I want to travel and experience the world, these are strong. These are personal. These are emotional. These reasons can fuel discipline. So take time to identify your real why. Why do you truly want to speak English fluently? What will it give you? How will it change your life? How will it make you feel? How will it help the people you love? Connect to these answers emotionally. Feel them, visualize them, write them down, return to them often. When discipline is difficult, read your why. Remember your reason. Let it give you strength. Let it push you forward. Your why is the foundation of your discipline. Now I want to address something important. Discipline does not mean you never rest. Discipline does not mean you work every moment. Discipline does not mean you ignore your health or well-being. Some people think discipline means being harsh with yourself, being strict, being unforgiving, never relaxing, always working. This is not discipline. This is punishment. This is unsustainable. This leads to burnout. True discipline includes rest. True discipline includes balance. True discipline includes taking care of yourself. The difference is that disciplined rest is planned. Disciplined rest is intentional. Undisciplined rest is avoiding commitments and making excuses. For example, if you commit to practicing speaking English for 10 minutes every day and you keep that commitment 6 days a week and intentionally rest one day, that is disciplined. You planned rest. You are in control. But if you commit to practicing every day and then skip randomly whenever you feel like it, that is not rest. That is lack of discipline. That is breaking commitments. That is being controlled by your feelings. So include rest in your plan. Include recovery in your schedule. If you want one rest day per week, decide which day. Make it part of your commitment. For example, I will practice speaking English for 10 minutes every day except Sunday. Sunday is my rest day. This is clear. This is intentional. This is disciplined. You are not breaking a commitment. You are following your plan. And on Sunday, you can rest guilt-free because it is part of your plan. Also, discipline does not mean ignoring your feelings. Discipline means not being controlled by your feelings. There is a difference. You can acknowledge that you feel tired and still practice. You can recognize that you feel unmotivated and still keep your commitment. You do not suppress feelings. You do not pretend they do not exist. You simply do not let them make your decisions. Your commitment makes your decisions. Your why makes your decisions. Your discipline makes your decisions. But you can still feel whatever you feel. You can still be kind to yourself. You can still have compassion for yourself. Discipline and self-compassion can coexist. In fact, they must coexist for discipline to last. Let me talk about something many people struggle with. What happens when you break your discipline? What happens when you miss a day? What happens when you fail to keep your commitment? This will probably happen at some point. You are human. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes things happen that genuinely prevent you from practicing. Sometimes you make a mistake and forget. Sometimes you choose comfort over commitment. This is normal. This is part of the journey. The question is not, will you ever fail? The question is, what will you do when you fail? Many people respond to failure by quitting. They think, I broke my streak, so I might as well give up. I missed one day, so I failed. I am not disciplined. I cannot do this. This is destructive thinking. This is all or nothing thinking. This turns one mistake into complete failure. This is how discipline dies. One small failure becomes permanent defeat. Disciplined people respond differently. When they miss a day, they acknowledge it without drama. They think, I missed yesterday. That was a mistake. But today is a new day. Today I will keep my commitment. They do not waste energy feeling guilty. They do not spend time criticizing themselves. They do not use one failure as an excuse to quit. They simply return to their commitment. They continue. They move forward. This is resilience. This is maturity. This is true discipline. So if you miss a day of practice, do not punish yourself. Do not give up. Do not wait for Monday or next month to start again. Just practice today, right now, immediately. Get back on track. Return to your commitment. One missed day means nothing in the long term if you continue. But one missed day can mean everything if you use it as an excuse to quit. The choice is yours. Choose to continue. Always choose to continue. Now let me share something powerful about discipline. Discipline in one area of life strengthens discipline in all areas. When you build discipline in English practice, you are not just improving your English. You are building your character. You are training your mind. You are developing a skill that applies everywhere. The discipline you use to practice English every day is the same discipline you can use to exercise regularly, to eat healthy, to save money, to work on your goals, to build better relationships. Discipline is transferable. Discipline is universal. When you become a disciplined person in one thing, you become capable of discipline in everything. This means learning English with discipline is not just about English. It is about becoming a better version of yourself. It is about developing the ability to commit and follow through. It is about proving to yourself that you can do hard things. It is about building self-trust. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, you trust yourself more. Every time you do what you said you would do, you respect yourself more. And self-trust and self-respect are the foundation of confidence. They are the foundation of success. They are the foundation of a good life. So when you practice English every day, even when you do not feel like it, you are doing something much bigger than learning vocabulary or improving pronunciation. You are building your character. You are becoming disciplined. You are becoming reliable. You are becoming someone who finishes what they start. You are becoming someone who achieves their goals. This is valuable beyond measure. This changes everything. Think about the most successful people you know or have heard about. Athletes, business leaders, artists, scientists, teachers. Anyone who has achieved something significant, what do they all have in common? It is not talent. Many talented people achieve nothing. It is not luck. Luck might help, but it does not create sustained success. What they all have in common is discipline. They show up. They do the work. They practice. They continue even when it is hard, even when they do not feel like it. Even when progress is slow, even when nobody is watching. They are disciplined. And discipline is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who only wish. You can be one of the people who achieves. You can be one of the people who succeeds. You can be one of the people who transforms their life. You have the same hours in a day. You have the same ability to make commitments. You have the same capacity to build discipline. The only question is, will you do it? Will you choose discipline over motivation? Will you commit and follow through? Will you practice even when you do not feel like it? This choice is yours. This power is in your hands. Let me give you some practical strategies to make discipline easier. First, connect your practice to an existing habit. This is called habit stacking. You take something you already do every day and attach your new practice to it. For example, you already brush your teeth every morning. You do not need motivation to brush your teeth. You do not need discipline to brush your teeth. You just do it automatically. So you can decide, after I brush my teeth every morning, I will practice speaking English for 10 minutes. The existing habit of brushing teeth becomes a trigger for the new habit of speaking practice. This makes it easier to remember. This makes it more automatic. This reduces the need for willpower. Second, prepare in advance. Make practice as easy as possible. Remove obstacles. If you are going to practice in the morning, prepare the night before. Decide what you will talk about. Have your materials ready. Create an environment that supports your commitment. The easier you make it to practice, the less discipline you need. The more obstacles you remove, the more likely you are to follow through. Third, track your progress visually. Get a calendar. Every day you practice, mark it with a big X or a check mark. Seeing a chain of successful days is motivating. Seeing your consistency is rewarding. This visual representation makes your discipline concrete. It shows you the evidence of your commitment. And as the chain grows longer, you will not want to break it. You will want to keep it going. This simple strategy is surprisingly powerful. Fourth, make it public if possible. Tell someone about your commitment. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. Post it on social media if you are comfortable. When other people know about your commitment, you add another layer of accountability. You do not want to let them down. You do not want to admit you quit. This external accountability can support your internal discipline. But be careful. Choose supportive people. Do not tell people who will criticize you or discourage you. Tell people who will encourage you and celebrate your progress. Fifth, reward yourself for consistency. Not for perfection, for consistency. After you practice every day for 1 week, give yourself a small reward. After 30 days, give yourself a bigger reward. These rewards should not undermine your goal. Do not reward yourself with something that contradicts your commitment, but find something you enjoy. Watch a movie you love. Buy something small you have wanted. Enjoy a special meal. These rewards create positive associations with discipline. They make your brain connect discipline with pleasure. This makes discipline easier over time. Now I want to talk about the long-term benefits of discipline. In the short term, discipline can feel difficult. It can feel like sacrifice. It can feel like you are denying yourself comfort. But in the long term, discipline creates freedom. This might sound strange. How can discipline create freedom? Let me explain. When you lack discipline, you are controlled by your feelings. Your feelings decide what you do. If you feel like practicing, you practice. If you do not feel like practicing, you do not. Your feelings are in charge. This means you are not free. You are a slave to your emotions. You are controlled by external circumstances that affect your emotions. You are unpredictable. You cannot rely on yourself. This creates stress. This creates anxiety. This creates guilt. This is not freedom. But when you have discipline, you are in charge. You decide what you do based on your commitments, not your feelings. You are reliable. You can trust yourself. You know you will do what you said you would do. This creates confidence. This creates peace. This creates self-respect. And this is freedom. True freedom is not doing whatever you feel like in the moment. True freedom is having the power to do what you know is right and good for you, regardless of how you feel. Discipline gives you this power. Discipline gives you this freedom. Also, discipline in the short term creates ease in the long term. Learning English without discipline is hard. You struggle for years. You feel frustrated. You feel stuck. You waste time. You waste energy. You suffer. But learning English with discipline might feel challenging at first, but it creates steady progress. It creates real improvement. It creates results. And once you achieve your goal, once you can speak English fluently, life becomes easier. Better opportunities come. Better jobs. Better experiences. More confidence. more connections. The short-term discipline created long-term ease. On the other hand, lack of discipline in the short term creates difficulty in the long term. If you avoid practice because it feels uncomfortable today, you stay at the same level. Years pass and you still cannot speak English well. You still feel frustrated. You still struggle in situations where English is needed. You still feel limited. The short-term comfort created long-term difficulty. So discipline is not just about today. Discipline is an investment in your future. Discipline today creates an easier tomorrow. I want to tell you about a student named Chen. Chen was from Taiwan. He wanted to speak English fluently for 10 years. 10 years. Every year he would say, "This is the year I will become fluent." Every year he would start with motivation. He would buy new books. He would sign up for courses. He would watch videos. He would practice intensely for 2 weeks. Then motivation would fade. He would stop practicing. He would tell himself he was too busy. He would wait for the next wave of motivation. This cycle repeated for 10 years. 10 years of motivation coming and going. 10 years of starting and stopping. 10 years of no real progress. Then Chen heard about discipline. He heard that consistency beats intensity. He heard that daily practice is the key. He decided to try a different approach. He made a small commitment, just 10 minutes of speaking practice every single morning. That is all. He did not wait to feel motivated. He did not wait for perfect conditions. He just started. Every morning, right after breakfast, he would speak English out loud for 10 minutes. Some days he felt energetic and it was easy. Some days he felt tired and it was hard. But he did it, every single day, no excuses. The first 2 weeks were difficult. His discipline muscle was weak. He wanted to skip, he wanted to quit. But he remembered his 10 years of failure with motivation. He did not want another 10 years of the same pattern, so he continued. He kept his commitment. After 2 weeks, it got easier. After 30 days, it became a habit. After 60 days, he did not even think about it. It was automatic, like brushing his teeth. He just did it, and his English improved. Not overnight. Not magically, but steadily, clearly. Every week he was better than the week before. Every month he was more confident. After 6 months, Chen could speak English more fluently than he had in the previous 10 years combined. 10 years of relying on motivation gave him almost no progress. 6 months of discipline transformed his English completely. People who knew him were amazed. They asked him what course he took, what secret method he found, what magic technique he used. He told them the truth. No course, no secret, no magic, just discipline. Just 10 minutes every single day, no matter what. That was his secret, discipline. Today, Chen speaks English fluently. He uses it at work. He travels confidently. He feels proud of himself. But he says the most valuable thing he gained was not English. It was discipline. Because once he built discipline with English, he applied it to other areas. He started exercising every day. He started saving money consistently. He started working on other goals. His whole life improved. All because he learned that discipline will take you where motivation won't. You can be like Chen. You can transform your English. You can build discipline. You can achieve your goal, but you must make a choice. You must choose discipline over motivation. You must choose commitment over feelings. You must choose consistency over intensity. This choice is not easy, but this choice changes everything. Let me address some common thoughts that might be in your mind right now. You might be thinking this sounds hard. Yes, it is hard. Discipline is hard. But staying stuck is also hard. Feeling frustrated for years is hard. Never achieving your goal is hard. Choose your hard. Choose the hard that leads to growth and success. Choose discipline. You might be thinking, I have tried before and failed. Yes, maybe you tried. But did you try with discipline or with motivation? Did you commit to something small and specific? Did you continue when you did not feel like it? Did you get back up after missing a day? Or did you make big plans, rely on motivation, quit when it got hard, and give up after one failure? If you failed before, it was probably because you relied on motivation, not because you lack ability. Try again. This time with discipline. You might be thinking, I am not a disciplined person. This is not true. Discipline is not a personality type. Discipline is a skill. You are not born disciplined or undisciplined. You build discipline through practice. Just like you are building English through practice. Start small. Build gradually. Train your discipline muscle. You can become disciplined. Anyone can. You might be thinking, I will start on Monday or next month. No, this is motivation thinking. This is tomorrow thinking. This is the old pattern. Start today. Start right now. After you finish listening to this video, practice speaking English for 5 minutes. Right now, not tomorrow, not Monday. Now, this is discipline. Discipline does not wait for the perfect time. Discipline starts now. So let me ask you a question. Are you ready to choose discipline? Are you ready to stop relying on motivation? Are you ready to make a commitment and keep it every single day? Are you ready to practice even when you do not feel like it? Are you ready to build this skill that will transform not just your English but your entire life? I hope your answer is yes. I hope you are ready. I hope you will take this message seriously and apply it. Because here is the truth. You have spent enough time waiting for motivation. You have spent enough time starting and stopping. You have spent enough time feeling frustrated with your English. It is time for a different approach. It is time for discipline. It is time for consistency. It is time for real progress. It is time for transformation. Discipline will take you where motivation won't. Motivation might help you start, but discipline will help you finish. Motivation might give you a good day, but discipline will give you a good year. Motivation might create a burst of action, but discipline will create lasting success. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire burning. You need both. But when you must choose discipline. Always choose discipline. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Imagine you have practiced speaking English every single day for 6 months. 10 minutes every day, no matter what. Through tired days and energetic days, through busy days and free days, through motivated days and unmotivated days, you showed up, you practiced, you kept your commitment. How will you feel? You will feel proud. You will feel strong. You will feel confident. And your English will be dramatically better. You will speak more fluently. You will express yourself more clearly. You will feel more comfortable. This future is possible. This future is available, but only through discipline. Now imagine the alternative. Imagine 6 months from now you are still relying on motivation, still starting and stopping, still feeling frustrated, still at the same level, still wishing you could speak better. How will you feel? You will feel disappointed. You will feel stuck. You will feel like you wasted another 6 months. This future is also possible. This future happens if you do not choose discipline. Which future do you want? The choice is yours. The power is in your hands. Choose discipline. Choose consistency. Choose commitment. Choose success. I want to give you a simple challenge. A simple commitment you can make right now. Commit to practicing speaking English out loud for just 5 minutes every single day for the next 30 days. 5 minutes, 30 days, every single day. No exceptions, no excuses, even when you do not feel like it, even when you are tired, even when you are busy. Find 5 minutes. Keep your commitment. Use discipline instead of waiting for motivation. Can you do this? Can you commit to this? I believe you can. I believe you have the ability. I believe you have the strength. But believing in you is not enough. You must believe in yourself. You must commit to yourself. You must prove to yourself that you can be disciplined. So make this commitment right now. Say it out loud. I will practice speaking English for 5 minutes every single day for the next 30 days. No matter what, I will use discipline, not motivation. Say it, commit, and then do it. Get a calendar, mark every day you practice. Watch your discipline grow, watch your consistency build, watch your English improve. And after 30 days, come back and tell me about your experience. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what discipline gave you. I will be here. I will be proud of you. But first, you must start. You must commit. You must choose discipline. Remember, motivation is like a guest. It comes and goes. You cannot control when it visits. You cannot make it stay. But discipline is like a friend who lives with you, always there, always reliable, always supporting you. Build this friendship with discipline. Let discipline become part of who you are. Let discipline guide your actions. Let discipline create your success. You are capable of amazing things. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you believe. You can speak English fluently. You can achieve your dreams. You can become disciplined. You can transform your life. But it starts with a choice. It starts with a commitment. It starts with action. It starts today. It starts now. It starts with you. Discipline will take you where motivation won't. Never forget this. Write it down. Put it where you can see it every day. Let it remind you. Let it guide you. Let it empower you. When motivation fades, remember this. When you feel like quitting, remember this. When practice feels hard, remember this. Discipline will take you where motivation won't. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start building discipline. Start practicing consistently. Start keeping your commitments. Start today. Start now. Your future self will thank you. Your dreams are waiting. Your success is calling. Answer with discipline. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring about your growth. Now go and practice. 5 minutes, right now. Speak English out loud. Keep your commitment. Build your discipline. Prove to yourself what you are capable of. And if this message helped you, if this message inspired you, if this message changed your perspective, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Be part of this community. A community of disciplined learners. A community of people who choose action over excuses. A community of individuals who are transforming their lives through discipline. Go now, practice, speak, commit, use discipline, and watch your life transform. I believe in you, now believe in yourself. Discipline will take you where motivation won't. Remember this. Live this, become this. Your English fluency is waiting on the other side of discipline. Go get it, starting now.